I've always been of the belief that anyone can do anything. My name's Antony Chesworth. I'm the Managing Director and founder of EKM Systems. I've always been into computers from a young age. I got my first computer when I was 7, and I've always been into programming, playing computer games. And then when I went to college, I did a lot of programming, and it was around that time when the internet really started to come out. It was something that you occasionally got to see glimpses of. I always wanted to make computer games. Just really interested that you could actually get a computer to do something that you wanted it to do. You could do anything you wanted with a computer. That's the thing I love about it. The thing I love about being a programmer, actually. You can just do anything. You can create anything you want. You can have an idea and you can just build it yourself. I always remember as a kid, I liked making things that other people enjoyed. I always used to make, when I was at school, I used to make like magazines and things, like computer games magazines and things like that. And I used to make them, and then I used to get my dad to go to work and photocopy them. Then I'd try to sell them. And the same as with the computer games, you make the computer games because you wanted other people to play them. That was the ultimate aim of doing a computer game. So I always liked doing something that somebody else enjoyed. When I finished at university, I went to get a job because I had to, and it was at a local internet service provider. And it was around that time when I saw that people were paying thousands to web designers to build them an e-commerce site. Then they were having to pay about £50 a month for web hosting, and they had no support or any help. Or the other option was to go and buy some off-the-shelf software, which they had to install. They then had to install on a web server. They had to pay about £50 a month for web hosting. They had to sort out secure servers. And I tried to use this software myself, and I was a computer science graduate, and I went to computers, and I struggled with it. And I just kept thinking, how would you expect someone who runs a shop to be able to run this? And it was at the time when you could develop software through the browser, and it was just at that point where, why bother having software installed on your computer when you could do it all through the website? I could just see the benefits of building a system once and everyone use it. I mean, it's actually not even a brand new idea. I mean, it goes back to the fundamentals of computer science. Back in the old days, you used to have mainframe computers and dumb terminals. That's the way it was. You had one big system and loads of dumb terminals. And it changed into that every computer was that powerful that you might as well have had each computer doing its own thing. I think that was a big thing that made you realise that actual programming for computers was probably not the place to be. You wanted to be programming for the internet, because even at that early age, you could see that that's where it was going. You would be programming for the internet. You wouldn't be programming for a single computer. You wouldn't be building software for a single PC anymore. And so that's what I started doing. I started doing it after I finished university. I had no money, so I started programming this system in, and I had no choice, but I had to go back and live with my mum and dad. I had to claim job seekers or the dole, whatever it was at the time. There were 4 years of that where I was on my own in a little room, persevering, and even I had doubts. I got told by NatWest Bank and Michelin, who did a development fund in Burnley at the time, they looked at the business plan and they said, it's never going to work, is this? I managed to fund myself and the business just off credit cards. So back then it was a different sort of challenges, and the challenges there actually for me was, I was always been a computer person, never managed people, I've never had to sell anything, and so having to learn how to sell a product and actually start cold calling people, that was the challenges then, getting sworn at and told to clear off on the phone all the time, and I had to learn the entire business. I had to juggle trying to sell it, doing customer services, developing it, marketing it, promoting it, trying to get money to pay for it. So back then, it was challenges of just actually surviving. I do have the greatest respect for a lot of these professions and these jobs like sales. It's such a hard job, and it's very undervalued. One of my biggest challenges has always been when other people started joining, because I'd never done any management. And all of a sudden you're thrust into that. It was new, and it was having to deal with other people, having to think about other people and be a bit more compassionate with other people. But I'd like to think I've got all right to do it now. I think every day is still a challenge. I still just want to deliver the best possible business and platform in the world. I've never felt we're there. Never, ever. And so it's the same now as it was back on day one. On day one, that first line of code that I started to write, it's still the same feeling that we've got such a long road ahead of us. Back then, the passion was about the system, the platform. It was about the platform. The passion was about the platform. Now the passion is about the company, about the people. And the platform is part of that because it's the people and the company that create the platform now. You've got to be passionate about everything you do in life, haven't you, really? The only things you're not passionate about are things like chores. If you're not passionate about it, it becomes a chore. One of my big interests in the last few years has been flying, and I absolutely love it because it's an escape, it's a freedom, it's fantastic for work. We have an aircraft and we use it to get to business meetings all around Europe, which saves a lot of time. It allows me a bit of freedom because I'm always thinking about work, always. But because you're so immersed in that environment, you're not worrying or thinking about all your day-to-day things, and so I find it really relaxing as well. Sometimes you're flying at like 2 miles up in a little plastic bubble or above all the clouds or something like that, and you just feel very, very privileged and very lucky to be in that position. And when you get in that aircraft, you're free to go anywhere on the globe. You can just get in that aircraft and go wherever you want to go. There's no constraints. When you're up there, there's very few other people there or have got the same view as you have. It is that freedom. It's like being an entrepreneur, isn't it? The freedom that you create when you're an entrepreneur, that you're the master of your own destiny. It's the freedom that it gives you, yeah. You're the master of your own destiny, aren't you? If I'm at EKM, a place where people love working, love being there, and make it the best place to work in the world, whereas a lot of companies, and like the company where I was working, and every job I've had, they've always been very heavily managed. I'd like to think that at EKM Systems we're different in that I like to give people a bit more free rein. I think the fear of failure is the biggest inhibitor for people's confidence. I'm a lot more of the belief of like the regrets type thing, in that you generally don't regret things that you've done, you regret things that you've not done. To any young person with an idea, I'd say perseverance is the key. Just everyone will tell you it's not going to happen. You've got to just persevere through it, and if you believe it, just follow your dream. You've got to persevere and believe in it, and don't let people that have not done it tell you that you can't do it. If you don't try, you won't know, and if you never try, you'll never get that one thing that could be brilliant. Do you know what I mean? For every business that gets set up, obviously doing what we do, we're dealing with startup businesses. The statistics are against you from day one. If you set up your own business, everything is against you. You know, is it 9 out of 10 small businesses fail? So why would anyone do it? Why does anyone do it? But the people that do go on to great things, and I think you've got to do it. The fear of failure is what holds back most people, and you can't let it. What I wanted to achieve was to enable anyone to set up their own online business, because it shouldn't be that you've got to have a computer science degree to be able to create your own business. And I wanted to create my own business. So if I could create a tool that enabled other people to create their own businesses and make it easy for them, I'm helping people, aren't I? And that's what I wanted to do. Make it easy for anyone to set up their own business and be successful. Let anyone get their own freedom. That's ultimately what it's all about. I mean, people, thousands of people set up online shops with us, and ultimately what they're all wanting, they're all following a dream to try to get freedom in their own lives so they can grow their own businesses. And so it's amazing when you think about what we all actually do at EKM. It is, and everyone is part of that. And when you actually see some of the stories of people that set up shops with us, It's amazing. That's probably more inspiring, looking at what some of our customers have achieved than anything I could say. I am as passionate now as I ever was. I've never seen myself doing a 9-to-5 job.